Jed is going to suffer Assassin's Creed Shadows for us in February. He's going to
If it comes out, then maybe it'll get delayed again.
Yeah. They've already cost them $20 million. This delay, apparently, it's already cost $20 million. So last night, the Shadows boss says DEI is killing the game, but doubles down on it and attacks critics. So let's read this and let's get our thoughts.
What a dumbass.
Ubisoft Assassin's Creed boss Marc Alexis Cote admitted that the company's injection of DEI into Shadows is harming the game's potential, but declared that he plans to double down on it and even attack critics. So let's get to
How can you admit that there's a problem and say, instead of fixing this problem, I'm just going to double down on it? I don't know if this is the same guy, but Ubisoft a few months ago, if we remember, said gamers need to get used to not owning their own games. Yeah. So they're already completely ignoring the gamers' experience, what the gamers want. Yeah. They don't care. It's very much what we think you need is more important than what you want. Mm-hmm. And that's why I really like the Baldur's Gate 3 guys' response. Did you guys hear about that? To the get used to not owning your own game?
I did, but I don't remember the details.
So yeah, the Baldur's 3 creative director, I think, responded to the Ubisoft statement about not owning games. It's like, well, if gamers need to get used to not owning their games, developers should get used to not having jobs.
Yeah.
Very happy with that.
That's good. That's nice and nice. Good retort to that one. As reported by Eurogamer, Cote made an appearance at the BAFTA. We don't know how popular the BAFTA is right now with all their virtue signaling crap. BAFTA, where he shared that discussions of Ubisoft's DEI policies can influence how our gamers are perceived, but rather than shy away from those conversations, we should see them as an opportunity. What I love about this is that they're openly admitting we are DEI infected. Mm-hmm. They're openly admitting it.
Yeah, the denial phase is over. We're in we were doing it the whole time, but it's actually a good phase. It's always a fun phase to be in.
Why not? Like, the charade is over. Everybody sees it. So you might as well just come out and say, like, hey, look, I know we've been lying and gaslighting for about 5 years, but you know what? Let me tell you the truth. Yeah, we're trying to influence everything, and we're trying to ruin all your good fun. It's good that they're being that open about it finally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But there's still going to be the stands out there who change their opinion on this and say, of course they've been doing it the whole time, even though we lied to your face and pretended to agree with them. But it's a good thing. Why are you such a bigot?
And that's the thing. The stands are just morons because it depends on wherever the people that they want to defend, whatever their stance is on. Because when they were saying, like, oh, it's not happening, the stands were like, you're just a racist bigot. Blah, 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 and that's why you think it is. But now it's saying, like, oh, it is. And they're like, oh, right. Yeah, it is. And it's great. Like just these people are lemmings. Lemmings.
Yeah. Programmed. They will do whatever. They'll follow anything. They'll right off the cliff.
They'll just forget everything they've said in the past. That's why I call it the Dory mentality. The stands can't keep anything in their heads longer than 2 seconds. Unless it's the active thing, it's gone. I mean, that comes to stuff that they pretend to love. Ask any of them what the plot of Book of Boba Fett was. Any of the stands who said it was the greatest thing ever.
From there, he attempted to gaslight people in attendance by stating, Assassin's Creed has always been about exploring the full spectrum of human history. Notice I said spectrum.
What the hell does that even mean? The full spectrum of human history. If you mean, hey, the earlier games like to accurately portray history, that would be true. I always loved the example. I believe it was the second Assassin's Creed, might have been the first, but they were going to include a crossbow into the game as one of your weapons, and then they realized... It was the first. Yeah. They realized it wasn't invented for another 2 years after the game took place, so they took it out. That is beyond what even I would have expected from them or asked from them, but that care to attention to detail, to historical accuracy, is just something I had to give them a lot of respect for. So, yeah, if that's what you're talking about, that's absolutely true. But to change history and pretend it didn't exist in a certain way to reflect the modern day, that's not what that sentence means or what the original games were going for. It's bizarre.
It is bizarre. It's very strange, and it can be interpreted in many ways. Either Nazi secret agenda, or maybe they're trying a little autism thing. I don't know. This guy's definitely on the spectrum. He's definitely on the spectrum, and by its very nature, that history is diverse. Yeah. The entire world has people of different shapes, sizes, and colors, and ethnicities and religion. Of course, the world is and history is diverse because you know what? History isn't just one region; it's the whole goddamn world.
Now, different regions aren't diverse from history, and that's just implicit fact because that's how different diversities, different skin colors developed is because of these regional differences. So, in a time when immigration was difficult, when traveling was difficult, people were being pushed down into these little small regional groups, and then the racial distinctive features would develop. So yeah, it absolutely was the case that there wasn't a whole lot of diversity by region. Of course, by the planet, everything's on the planet. So yeah, good job saying the planet's diverse. But Japan, not a whole lot of black people in feudal Japan. In Norway, not a whole lot of Asian people in Norway. In the Americas, 1,000 years ago, not a whole lot of white people. It's not a complicated thing to say.
Homogeny is a thing. It exists. And it's not racism. It's simply where everybody is. And as Jed pointed out, as travel and immigration became a thing, then suddenly you're going to have mixing.
Yeah.
But a little bit of mixing isn't going to wipe out generations of homogeny. There's no naturally blonde people in Japan. They all got dark hair.
No coloreds in Scandinavia.
To quote yourself, my friend. Yeah.
It's the reality, and the idea that the world itself, absolutely, like Jed said, it is diverse. The world is. But everybody comes from somewhere. If you're going to parts of Europe, you're going to find some Anglo-Saxons. Period. That's where they come from. If you're going to certain parts of Africa that has never seen a white man, I promise you, there's not going to be any half-breeds running around. It's not going to happen.
Whole lot of darkness.
Exactly. Period. If you go to Japan, it's going to be, wait for it, Japanese people. The only place on planet Earth, let me be clear, the only place on planet Earth that has a hodgepodge of every other culture is the United States of America. That is it.
Yeah, and
everywhere else is where you'll find those people that are now here.
And we call it the melting pot because it brings everything together and then we assimilate into something new. It's not a toss. They try to educate the kids now. They call it a toss salad where everything is still individual. No, that's against what this country stands for. You're supposed to come together and create something new. We were the outcasts of the world. We ran away from oppression to create something free. And then we merged our cultures into a new culture, yet still respecting where we came from, still paying homage to it, still knowing what made us who we are. I mean, there's a reason in New York City, even though everybody's a New Yorker, back in the day, you still had Italian sections. You still had Harlem. You had all this stuff. Got Chinatown. Chinatown.
I'd like to slip in a little bit about the melting pot. I think the reason why they hate the melting pot term and want to, go away to the tossed salad or whatever it is now is because the melting pot takes a very pragmatic status on all these different cultures. It implies not every culture is perfect. The melting pot idea is taking the best of all these different cultures to make something new that has all the best combinations of all these different cultures. But they deem it as racist to say, hey, there are some bad parts of different cultures. Mm-hmm. It's not, though. Every culture has stuff that is to an outsider thinking, yeah, that's probably not good. And so you want to take the best from everything. And that's just not something that they can understand, is separating the race from the culture.
And you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say this. It might be controversial, might not be. Americanized Chinese food is better than China Chinese food. It's better.
He's had both, so he can actually make that statement.
Yep, it's better. It's not as scary. Chinese food is scary.
Tell him about the Twinkie.
What about the Twinkie?
What was the topic?
I don't remember anymore.
Assassin's Creed Shadows, diversity in history, because they say staying true to history means embracing the richness of human perspectives without compromise. He continued, for example, Assassin's Creed Shadows, we highlight figures, both fictional like Naue, a Japanese woman warrior, and they're doubling down at historical like Yasuke, the African-born samurai. They will not give up that black ghost. Dre, they're clinging to it.
Bruh. Fine. Let's just say this person existed. Fine. Let's just say that he was a samurai. Great. The overwhelming majority of that country is Japanese. You pick the one Afro-American
dude
individual in all its history that may have been prominent, and you're going to put that in front of the Japanese public? Mm-hmm. Are you retarded? You finally get a Japanese mainline Assassin's Creed game, and you do not use a Japanese guy.
Nope.
Oh, I guarantee you, day one there will be an Asian mod for Assassin's Creed Shadows.
And then it'll be banned.
On Nexus, it'll be banned, but you'll still be able to get it on other sites.
You get on Steam.
I love Dre's perspective, but even if we accept that this dude is historically accurate, it's not what anybody wants. And I think he could have fitted into the game as a supporting character. We've had plenty of historical people in Assassin's Creed games before. They're
Leonardo
interesting.
Da Vinci.
Yeah, you interact with them, maybe some side quests with this dude, but making him the primary character when you finally get into Japan, finally getting Japanese protagonists, you're erasing Japanese protagonists for a black man who's going to wreak havoc. He's not the stealth one. He's not even an assassin. He's just a tank. And he's going to be blowing up buildings by the dozen. All right, that's an exaggeration. But still, he is just a force of nature blowing up everything where he goes, slaughtering.
And they're on the record that both Naue and Yasuke will be sexually ambiguous. They will go anyway. So you're going to have a gay black man beating up Asian people.
Now, when it came to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I can buy a little bit of gayness in ancient Greece. It's historically accurate.
Yeah,
Japan, as far as I'm aware, wasn't as
very repressive,
provocative. Yeah,
very repressive.
And these and according to Ubisoft and everybody else, this is the culture that's going to be down with the X Division Championship and butt plugs. That's not it. That's not it. It's not, and to make and once again, let's just say that Yasuke is a historical figure, and everything that's been said about him throughout history is true. He was a heterosexual man that had a wife and children.
That's one of the few things we know about him.
Yes, according to the history that we understand. So you want to take a historical figure, and these are their words. Take a historical figure because they want to bring whatever eyes to the coloreds in Japan, whatever that means. And then you take liberties with this person's character, irregardless. These people are mentally ill. Yeah, mentally ill.
While the inclusion of a black samurai in feudal Japan has sparked questions and even controversy, Naue, as a fictional character, has also faced scrutiny for her gender. She's a kunoichi. Really? No one cares if she's a kunoichi. Nobody cares.
Yeah, I haven't heard a single person say there was a problem with the female Assassin's Creed protagonist in this game, because we've had that for years at this point. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Syndicate, I think, did it very well.
Evie was great. I loved Evie. And here's the thing. I've heard people say they would have rather had it just been Naue. They would have there'd be no complaints. There'd be no complaints. None at all.
It's easily 106. What is 106 centimeters?
Kote then pulled out of the tired talking points that the leftists always use. We pulled out the tired talking points of leftism. It's always been woke. Don't you love that, Jed? They always roll that out. Assassin's Creed has always been woke.
Yeah, it's not true.
Or in this case, it's always been diverse, he said. And this isn't new ground for the franchise. From Altair to Aveline to Grand Prix to, I can't even pronounce that.
That's Connor from the third game.
That's Connor? Okay, that's Connor. Okay, to
Yeah,
Connor.
that's his Native American name.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm sorry. Fuck that. I'm not doing that.
It's insane. I can't pronounce it.
Yeah. We've consistently introduced protagonists from a diverse racial, ethnic, and gender identities. History is inherently diverse, and so is Assassin's Creed and all the stories we tell. And you know what? We've been fine with most of them. Connor was boring as sin.
Yeah, that was more writing issue than diversity issue. But yeah, all these examples that he's giving make sense in the context of the history. We're taking place in the first or second crusade. Of course, there's going to be a Middle Eastern man during the crusades in the Middle East. Are we shocked here? Oh, we've got a black woman in Louisiana in the late 1800s. Wow, I'm just or early 1800s. Mind blown.
Got Native American during the Revolution.
Yeah, these aren't crazy things. Or Adewale in Black Flag, or when he was Rogue. No, Freedom Cry, where he was the protagonist. Yeah, that made perfect sense. These all make sense historically, but they're using them as example to explain why Shadows should also be okay, even though it doesn't make sense historically.
And even according to the history of Assassin's Creed, this is breaking the so-called, we'll call it is, the norm of how these games work. They are, by definition, diverse. These games take place in not only different time periods, but in different countries. And we get to see the culture of those different countries. Why in the world will you then morph the opportunity for Japanese culture to be looked at in its proper light by inserting this character? You are literally breaking this cycle that's already there and established. Have a and the pattern has been since, I think you said Syndicate, Jet, when they started doing the male and female, I believe.
Syndicate.
Yeah, that started. And so therefore you can just have a male Japanese protagonist and a female Japanese protagonist. And no one would have given two squirts of piss. Everybody would have went and got the game and had themselves a good time. But no, they broke their own rules in order to push an agenda that wasn't even necessary for a game that is inherently, by every correct definition, of diverse.
Well, Dre, I got 3 words for you: diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Oh, the DEI.
That's it, the
I'd rather cut my own leg off than hear that thing again.
All right, so then he says, to be clear, our commitment to inclusivity is grounded in historical authenticity and respect for diverse perspectives, not driven by modern agendas.
That's a lie.
This picture right here is the evidence that you're not like that. All right, he's not done. Now he goes. So that was the double down. That was the double down where it's basically F you. We were right. You're wrong. We've always been like this, which we just proved in our discussion of the past games that they're not. Next, Kote attacked critics of Ubisoft's diversity and inclusion policies, which he is clearly an advocate for. Alongside these deep-rooted franchise values is our commitment to recognize and listen to legitimate criticism as an essential part of the creative process. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you haven't listened to anything we've said. Our community helps us grow, evolve, and deliver better games. Today, we all, however, face the added challenge of distinguishing between genuine feedback and attacks driven by intolerance. Bigots! The bigots are coming.
Just label anything that you don't like as intolerance, and then you can disregard it.
Yep.
It's always bigots.
The current climate is tough on our creative teams. Oh, the sensitive creatives. Jed, as creatives, do we ever need to be coddled?
No.
Good God. Dre, are you coddled?
I am literally in the midst of writing a brand new arc for Treble. I ain't got time for coddling. These people are weak sauce.
Yeah. They face lies, half-truths, and personal attacks online. It's the goddamn internet. It's the internet. When the work they pour their hearts into is twisted into a symbol of division, it's not just disheartening. It can be devastating. What keeps me going is the resilience born out of conviction that I see our teams every day. I am especially proud of the Shadows team for staying true to the creative vision and core tenets of Assassin's Creed. Shut up.
This is why I do crystal meth.
But yeah, this is all pathetic. This makes him sound sad. Like
It's soy.
Very soy. I mean, like you pointed out, Adam, we're all creatives. We've all had other people read our material and have criticisms for it. And criticism is, as he even points out a minute before this, is what makes you a better writer, better creative, and makes your next product better, as long as it's constructive, of course. But even with these personal attacks, these half-truths, these lies, whatever, like you said, it's the internet. We've all gotten some heinous things said to us. I always refer back to pray for myself, and that didn't affect my next video at all. I laughed through a lot of those, and that's just a unfortunate reality of the internet. But if you're just going to label any legitimate criticism as those hateful things because you disagree with it, you're never going to make it as a creative person. Your material is never going to improve over time. These are all unexperienced, untalented people who are being shown how untalented they are, and they're reacting to it like children. They're immature children, and they just need to grow up. Honestly, if this is your reaction, dude, you need to grow up.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
or get off the internet.
It's the internet. Don't be rude. My God. Do you see how my own chat treats me? Do you see how our own chats treat us? Do you see what we do to Dermy on a regular basis?
Mm.
The internet is not a nice place.
It's not.
Cinch up your big boy pants, put on a pair of steel tip boots, and wade through it. God damn. Has he got any more of this? Oh, God, he keeps going. By choosing Naoe and Yasuke as protagonists, we are expanding the narrative landscape, offering new points of view that challenge established norms found in many works of fiction while staying true to the history that shaped them. Jed, you already said it. Assassin's Creed is famous for not being true to history. And now they want to be true to history by making shit up. God damn.
Wait a minute. Wait. Did that joint say we're getting different perspectives while still adhering to history? Is that what that thing said?
Yeah, that can't coexist.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm retarded. All right. But I'm like, yo, that don't make no sense. Okay. Wow. We're deep into the murky waters.
At the end of the day, Assassin's Creed is not just a franchise. It's a platform. It's a platform for entertainment. No, you turn it to a platform for your agenda. Dialogue, discovery, and understanding. No, it's a video game. We're supposed to play it and have fun. Plain and simple. It's not a platform for anything. It's not a platform for dialogue, discovery, and understanding. It is just a platform for entertainment. That's all it is. It's a game. Plain and goddamn simple. Our commitment isn't just about reflecting on the past. It's about ensuring that the stories we tell continue to unite, inspire, and challenge players, regardless of their background, because we all have to be seen. And we'll continue to stand by these values because they are essential to the heart of the franchise, and I believe to the future storytelling itself. And you may very well be the instrument through which Tencent buys your goddamn company.
Ooh, Tencent.
Yeah, they're interested. Yeah, I don't know enough about Tencent's policies. Would that be an improvement? Do you think that would be an improvement? No?
It's Tencent. We were actually talking about this a couple hours ago at the end of Dermy's stream, and I made the example. Look at it like this. All these megalithic, is that a word?
Monolithic?
No. All these mega corporations, all these mega corporations, all these mega developers who have been gobbling up all these different developers. Microsoft gets Activision, gobbles up Bethesda. Sony gobbles up the ones they gobbled up. You got, I just had it. EA gobbles up everybody, including BioWare, which we're going to talk about in a bit. Here's how I describe them. Sony's a retard. Sony's not inherently evil. They're just retarded and end up doing bad things because they're retarded and stupid and they're reactionary. EA is soulless.
Mm.
They're not evil. They're just soulless. They want to squeeze you for all your money. Microsoft is evil.
Oh yeah.
Microsoft plain old evil. But Tencent, that's Chi-Com evil. That's literally government controlled. All corporations in China are the government. It's like saying our government was actually running all the corporations here, which is actually reversed. The corporations run the government, but that's a different conversation. Tencent is the abyss evil. They want to swallow you up and have what you makes you be gone. So that's why Tencent, that ain't good. That makes Ubisoft even worse, if you ask me. That's my opinion.
Really saying something.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm open for a debate. There is no good solution. Ubisoft, as you two convinced me months ago, they will be gobbled up by somebody. It's inevitable at this point.
Oh, without question.
I can't think of anyone that it'll work for, though.
No. If and there might be restrictions because certain companies might not be able to absorb them because then they really are getting too close to actually making somebody enforce antitrust laws if they do it. So if Tencent does it, it's not any better. He's got, oh God, he just keeps going. All right,
I do want to address something he said a minute ago with the different perspectives with these two protagonists. So if he were just purely talking about play styles, I don't necessarily have a problem with a very small, petite, stealth perspective play character and a large barrel through them, heavy combat play style character. I think those should be more incorporated into character customization after you get it, like skill tree, stuff like that. You can make those different play styles with the skill tree or something like that. I prefer it that way. But if you just wanted to break two play styles into choices at the beginning of the game, I don't have an issue with that inherently. So if that's all this was, I don't think I would have an issue with it or anybody else. But that's not what they're saying, and I just can't understand the mentality of these people who are straight up saying, hey, this is a problem. It's not working for us. It is literally killing our company. And now let me tell you all the nonsensical reasons I made up why it's still a good thing and we're going to keep doing it. It's bizarre. So I think they should have focused on that, is the different play styles.
Complaining here, he's trying to make it that it's all about it's exploring. It can be the game Creed is a platform of meaningful exploration, reflection, wrapped up in the excitement of unforgettable gameplay. And it's a fusion of creativity, diversity, and immersion for everybody around the world up here. And then he's going to play the victim. The stories we tell, the characters we create, and the game worlds we build are instrumentalized by those who seek to silence creativity, to stoke fear and incite hatred. Notice here he's talking by bringing in Zakaria, talking about a book called How Democracies Die. He's making it ideological.
Of course, that's always the fallback. When all else fails, just say this is about fill in the blank isms.
Here come the fascists. Here come the fascists to tell us creatives what not to say, and we can't let that happen. It's time for us as creators to stand firm in our commitment to our values by telling stories that inspire, that challenge, and that can help people connect. Our silence cannot be complicit. All right, this guy is out. He just keeps going. He is out to effing lunch, dude. He is out to effing lunch. And this game is going to fail. It's going to be the final nail in Ubisoft's coffin. I mean,
they pushed this back to spring?
February. Valentine's Day, Dre.
Oh, yeah. And Black History Month.
Both Black People Month and Valentine's Day.
God.
Yeah, I think it might have been more the Black History Month motivation.
Yeah. No, please.
If you think coloreds are rushing to go and buy this because it's on Black History Month, they do not know Black folks.
They don't. Yeah, they don't.
And that's the point.
So,
I mean, they're from France. It's not exactly a very diverse country to begin with.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
It's a little ironic.
They surrender a lot over there.
Yeah.
I just want to bring it back to what we said at the beginning with Dre. Is this is kind of mask off And everything he said there is very much, yeah, we've been doing this thing, but it's good that we're doing it and we're going to keep doing it and we're going to fight. We're the brave soldiers now. We're the underdog. Please like us. We're the underdog. And it is a little refreshing for them to finally stop gaslighting us to a certain extent. They're still gaslighting us by saying, hey, if you don't like this, you're, is phobes and isms. But they're at least saying, yes, we're doing everything you're accusing us of, but this is why it's a good thing. And you're still evil. It's not necessarily progress, but
I agree with you. It's refreshing because now there's no takebacks now. There's no takebacks. You can't walk it back and be like, oh no, it's conspiratory. It's these right-wing, whatever boogeyman they want to put in front of people. It's over. The mask has come down. You've now openly admitted that, yes, we are trying to corrupt your minds, thoughts, and ideologies with our nonsense. And you should, because we're the ones on the right side of history. Now it's out in the open. So now when people refuse it, hopefully shareholders and people that are actually losing billions of dollars can now justify shutting these people down. Because it's no longer maybe, woulda, coulda, kinda, maybe. No, we are, and we're trash, and we're losing billions.
Oh, yes, billions will be lost. Because remember, this game was in development for a very long time with a very large budget. So
yeah, it's losing money. Maybe not quite to Outlaws territory, but it's still going to be.
They've already lost. They've already lost $20 million because of the delay. They've already lost money.
Hurt them. And that'll make their stock go down even more. And I know we've discussed that there's no way to improve it with a purchase from another company, but at least we can say that that's an admission that this was all a failed business model. Them getting purchased out is an admission of failure. Whether or not they want to actually admit that, we can at least look at that and say, hey, C stands out there. You're not going to, listen to us, but this is proof of what we've been saying this whole time. They failed. So I'm still hoping they get bought out, at least for that.
It'll make a great video. It'll make a great video. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.